go make sure we're recording this thing. Okay, cool. So like Seven already said, there's so many different things and platforms that you can use to grow your business. There's no wrong or right way to grow your business. Just choose one and work it. Give it 100% effort. That's all I'm gonna say. My disclaimer before I go ahead and share about fit camps. But I personally chose to use fit camp. Like she said, you get to do what you love, do what you're excited about, and just wrap Herbalife around it. I personally enjoy working out. I like working out with other people. I like pushing other people. I like screaming at other people. I like all of that. And if you've ever been to one of my fit camps, you already know how it goes down. I love that. So that's why I chose that to grow my business. Okay. But just like anything else, you have to have structure behind it. So the first thing that I want y'all to write for fit camps is structure. And y'all make sure that you're taking notes, not because you want a fit camp, but because you're going to come into somebody, Corinne, you're going to walk into somebody and they're going to be like, hey, I want to start a fit camp right now. You got to know, this is why this call is happening, so that you know exactly what to go and give them. So I'm actually going to share my screen with you guys, a fit camp structure that I came up with about a year ago. But back to the story. So the first thing that I wanted to say was it has to have structure. Now, boom. Okay, cool. So one more time, the reason why you should be listening to me on fit camps is because I used it. I did fit camps for 3 years, chose 1 day a week, used to do 1 day a week, 2 times a week. So I used to do 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. every single Sunday. I did that for a year. Then I changed it to 3 p.m. every Sunday for 2 years straight. Moral of the story is consistency is the key, y'all. And I never gave up on it. Whether it was 5 people at the fit camp, only distributors at the fit camp, or 50 people at the fit camp, we still showed up the same way every single time. And that's for anything that you do. Show up the same way every single time. And then always remember that the responsibility is all on you. So if no one comes, that's all on you. Take that same responsibility that you're going to be cheering yourself on when 50 people are there, when there's 5 people there. Y'all get what I'm saying? It's all on you if you're getting cups in your satellite club. It's all on you if you're getting people to your fit camp. So just make sure that that's really, really clear. It's 100% responsibility. But the first steps in a fit camp is finding a location. Finding a location, whether that's outside or inside or whatever the case may be, find a location. The second thing is find a day and a time that you can personally commit to. What I like to do is like post on your story and talk to people, like start talking to people like it's already happening. Okay. Start talking to people like, oh my God, I'm going to start a fit camp. I'm in between deciding if I'm doing Tuesdays or Fridays. Like get the buzz out. And the reason why is because that opens up doors for you. Closed mouths don't get fed. I was talking about the fact that I was looking for a new place to do fit camps at, and I was blessed with a whole new location for myself. Closed mouths don't get fed. Open up your mouth and talk to everybody about it, and use those people to help you find the day and the time that's going to be best for you and for the people who you're going to be inviting. And then number 3 is commit to it. You can't like some Sundays going to work and some Sundays not going to work. No, it's your thing now. It's your baby. Treat it like so. Take 100% responsibility and commit fully to this new venture that you have, which is going to be your fit camp. And then number 4 is going to be invite daily. It's just like posting on social media. When we did the social media training, we were like, if you're not posting on social media, then your business is not open. Fit camp, same thing. If you're not inviting daily to your fit camp, the fit camp don't exist. You really have to start looking at it like that, because people are not just going to show up. Word of mouth is everything. Ask your clients to bring people with them. Now, I get this question all the time, like the actual back end and what happens once you got the fit camp. We did all the invites. We did the flyers. We posted 10,000 times on social media. We used the location searches to see people that go to LA Fitness and invite them, see people that go to Planet Fitness and invite them. We did that work, right? And that's a nugget and a tip right there. Hashtags, searches, locations, invite people, use the location button on social media. It's free and it works. Okay. But outside of that, once we do all that good stuff and we get people to the fit camp, what's next? Be prepared. This is a must do for fit camps. Be prepared. Have your tea already made, have your energy right, have your personal tea made so you have the energy to conduct the fit camp, to say hi to the people. And this is with anything, y'all. These tips, you can really take them and move them to Satellite Club too. Make sure you are mentally prepared for the fit camp. Do your personal development that day. Okay. But outside of that, be prepared for the actual roles. If this is something that you're starting with your downline, cool. Who's doing the workout? Who's making the shakes and the tea? Be structured on who is doing what. Don't try to figure it out when you all get there, because failure to plan is a plan to fail. A couple of different roles that we used when we had our fit camp was these ones right here. So you see registration was one, and that's the person that's welcoming everybody in, asking them if it's their first time here, making whatever your environment is feel good. You want people to feel good and come back. Energy, 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 smile, smile, smile. That registration role is super duper important. And if you got to do it all for the first couple of fit camps until you get people doing it with you, cool. But even if you have a client who's excited and who uses the tea or whatever the case may be, you can have them do registration. You don't got to be a distributor to do the registration role. You're just welcoming people into fit camp and making sure that they sign in and making sure that they have a shot of tea. So make sure you have your excited clients do that. And of course, these are people that you should probably be talking about the business too. We used to stretch in, and I'm saying used to because we stopped the fit camp model, but we used to stretch, warm up, and then do a full body workout. The shakes, again, if you got to have a client or a family member help you out with the shakes because you don't got a team yet, do it. Use what you have and get started. You do not have to have it all together. That's why I made this document, so that you understand it's simple. You don't have to have it all together to get started. Just get started. You'll figure it out along the way. Okay. So right here is the formula of the shakes that we used to make more shakes, because they weren't paying full price for a shake. It was more so a shake sample. So this was the actual shake recipe that we used to use at the fit camp. I'm going to stop my share real quick to explain this story to you guys. My very first fit camp, my sister made the shakes outside. It was hot and we were in the park and the ice melted. So we had hot shakes. And I led the warm up, I led the workout, and I had a new distributor helping me with the sign-in process. It was a mess, to be completely honest with you. But fast forward, it has brought, and a lot of people who are on this call right now came in from that fit camp or came in from the fit camps to come. Get started. No matter what it is, get started. So that's my share on fit camps. I wanted to make it super quick so we can get into the other stuff that is to come. I'm going to pass it back to Seven so that she can introduce the next person, and we're going to get started. Make sure y'all guys are taking notes, and that's my time.
Hey, who's excited to open up a fit camp outside, open back up? You can actually have a fit camp with 10 people right now, up to 10 people. So if you want to go outside and start a fit camp with 10 people, just go ahead and drop a 5-5 in the chat, you guys. So already you just heard from one person growing from brand new in the business, basically growing all the way to global expansion team with a fit camp. This is just showing you guys it's more than just shakes. We have 21-day challenges. We have online, but these are just more things that you're able to enroll people into so that they can go ahead and get started. Or when you have new team members, and maybe you have somebody that says, Seven, I can't do fit camps. I don't like to work out. Great. So we're actually going to go into a few social media tips, you guys, with one of my favorite girls down in Tampa. They're in their second cut of global expansion team right now. If I don't know if y'all ever seen her social media, it's always fire, always so much interaction, you guys, and her whole team grows off of social media and nutrition clubs as well. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it to Desi, you guys, so she can give us some amazing tips on social media.
What's up, y'all? Desiree out here in Tampa, Florida. Thank you for that, Seven. You're someone that inspires me through social media as well, girl. So let's keep killing this, y'all. I'm current active world team. We're about to smash through our second cut of Get this week, definitely. So I'm super excited with everything that's going on and grateful that I'm able to share with you guys on this call what's been working for me and also what's actually been duplicating down into my downline, who's also really starting to move in the business too. Last month, I was able to get 11 new retail clients, and retail honestly has been something that's been a struggle for me, but focusing more on retail and not offering the VIP membership right away or the preferred membership right away definitely helped me. And I got all of these clients through social media, as well as 6 new preferred members last month. I made a list of 5 no matter what's for social media. Number 1, I have engage, 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 engage. Don't just think that by posting a cute picture or a workout or something with your shake and tea is going to cause, like, it's going to give you interaction, but don't think like that's what's going to build your business. What's really going to build your business is engaging with the people who are liking your photos, commenting on your photos, leaving you messages. Make sure you're engaging with these people and building relationships. Like, don't just go straight into talking about Herbalife or what you have to offer. Like, really, really make an intention to connect with people through social media, because that's what we're all about. We're here to connect with people and build these relationships, not only for clients, but for future distributors as well. So showing love to your followers, at the end of every week or maybe every 3 to 4 days, I'll go to my followers and change it, because you can change your followers when you go to view them, your most current followers. So I always go to view my most current followers, and I'll reach out to them, whether they have liked anything or not. Obviously, you followed me, so I reach out to them and just simply say, hey, thank you for supporting my page. My name's Desiree. Like, something simple like that. And that always causes like a conversation. And it also will have them coming to view your page as well and see what you have more, see what you're all about, basically, because now you're interacting. So also utilizing stories. So I like doing a lot of polls and the questions. And I don't always make it about like fitness and health. Like, sometimes I do, but sometimes it's just ask a question. Like, literally just being able to be your authentic self and connect with people that way. I'm able to interact with a lot of people through that. I was also, there was this one girl that reached out to me over a bathing suit. She has a line of bathing suits. I ordered a bathing suit from her, and she wanted me to do the don't stop challenge that everyone was doing on TikTok at one point. So she had like 8 girls in this challenge, all doing something to kind of show off the bikini. So she tagged every girl in that video. And when she did that, I was able to reach out to all those girls, and that's where 3 of my retail clients came from. So actually supporting other people's businesses and interacting with other people who have small businesses and have something in common with you, that's something that's also been beneficial for me. Number 2, creating captivating content. I definitely suggest an iPhone if you don't have an iPhone, because you're going to get very crisp, clear pictures with an iPhone, I'm telling you. And it just works so much better with social media. Your IG is, or that's what I use. I use IG. I'm not very good with Facebook. I'm trying to get better at Facebook, but I know what works for me, and that's Instagram. So I stick to Instagram. But making sure that my Instagram is pleasing to the eye. So if someone comes to my page and the first like 6 to 9 pictures, I want them to see those first 6 to 9 pictures and be able to tell what I'm pretty much all about. There's lifestyle, there's family, there's business, there's health. Like, you can tell that I do Herbalife, and it's also in my bio. So I make sure that I have a bio that people can see and know what I'm about, and as well as having a profile that also fits that. So definitely look at your page, analyze your own page, and even like ask your sponsor to look at your page and ask, okay, as an outsider looking in, what would you think if you came to my page? Also, bright, colorful photos. A lot of apps that I use are Lightroom, PixArt, WordSwag. I use Mojo for videos to like make some videos look cute. Splice, and that's about it for that. But I use a lot of those to really brighten up pictures, because I want all of my pictures to be bright. I want my whole page to be nice and bright, so when you're coming on there, like, you're automatically like attracted. And then being intentional with your content. So posting about whatever it is that I want to attract. If it's clients that I want to attract, then I'm going to post like results, or I'm going to post something about looking for new clients. If it's distributors I want to attract, like today I posted something simple, like about the retreats to Jamaica, something about that. And just letting people know, like, it's available to anybody who's willing to take this on and take this opportunity seriously. So whatever you're being intentional about, post that. 3, consistently posting. If I go a day without posting, which it hasn't happened in a long time, Like it would literally give me anxiety because that's how I really built my business. If you're doing social media as your main thing, like that is you showing up to work. So if you're not posting, then you're basically not working that day, in my opinion. So consistently posting your products and results, and this is not only like your physical results, but business results. I had so many interactions with people recently just from posting my team's checks and showing what's possible, allowing them to see like this person works a full-time job but was able to make over $900 last month. This could be you. So just like allowing them to create a vision for themselves with that. Of course, like posting your own results, showing what's possible, what you made possible for yourself and your team's results, because then you're able to connect with different people, because someone may want to gain crazy muscle, and so I would send them something like Adrian's post. So being able to know what your results are within your team, knowing your team's stories and how they got their results is very beneficial too, because you're going to have people reaching out to you for all kinds of things. And then being authentic and transparent and just having fun. Social media, I love it because I'm able to just be myself. I'm not faking. I'm literally just able to go through my day. If I want to post something on my story of something I'm actually doing in the moment, I do that. So just being authentic, being transparent, and just having fun, making this look like what it actually is. So it's a lifestyle, and it's a fun lifestyle. It's a positive environment, and you get to invite people into that by just being who you are. If you're having a very bad day and you just are not in the right mindset, then I definitely suggest not getting on social media, because you don't want to be one of those people who are so positive and going for it and like, oh, this is possible. And then the next day you're like, oh, I hate life. Today sucks. Like, you don't want to be that person. You want to be someone that someone knows that they can consistently see is going to show up for themselves no matter what. Every morning, like I'll post like something with my vision board or affirmations or just something with personal development. And one morning I woke up late. It was like 9 o'clock and someone had wrote me a message and was like, girl, where have you been? I look for your posts every morning. I didn't see you. So that made me get back on my game, because people are watching. So it's super important to be consistent, because that early morning post didn't happen and someone called me out on it. So consistency is very important. Number 4, profit producing actions. That's what I think of when I get on my social media every day, because we want to build a business, right? So profit producing actions, one of those is inviting. I do massive invites to literally everything. We have so many things to invite to you guys. We have the HOMs, we have online fit camps. And right now there's so much available to all of us, because so many distributors have opened up their lines to so many of us. So we have the online fit camps. I have the nutrition club I'm able to invite to down here. The 21-day challenges is huge for me. I do really well with the challenges we get to invite to. And then following up. So every day, like I have this, I don't have it with me right now, but I have a book that I have, and I'll write down like how many people I plan on following up with or reaching out to. So if you're someone new that I've reached out to and we had any kind of conversation, it doesn't even have to be about Herbalife, but if we had a conversation, I'm writing down your Instagram, and I'm making sure like I'm not going to lose contact with that people, because I do speak to so many people throughout the day. Like sometimes, like in the past, a lot of people have fallen through the cracks because I didn't keep up with who I was speaking to. And those were people that I could have eventually had as clients or as distributors. So I write down who I connect with that day. And then I make sure to go back in my book and write down, okay, like, so today I'm going to do follow-up, and I'll do either follow-up PMs, retail clients. And now I have a day where I follow up with people who I've reached out to prior on social media, and just, hey, how are you? How have you been? And a lot of the times, like because of that follow-up, they've ordered something, they've become a client. Using hashtags works great, or locations. I actually got one of my distributors from just using a location of a gym. I put in a crunch gym, or I don't know, some gym. And this one girl just kept popping up in all these posts for this gym. So I reached out to her, invited her to our fit camp at the club, like it had to be for like 6 months. I invited her to this club, and now she's a distributor on the team because she fell in love with the environment. She fell in love with the shakes. So really just utilizing everything that there is that social media does have to offer you. And then number 5, and this kind of ties in with how I fit using social media into my day, is planning ahead. If I know that I'm going to have a busy day or something is going to come up, I make sure I have content already in my phone. And with Instagram, you can already have pictures. So like you can go to post a picture, but then get out of it, and it'll ask you if you want to save the draft or if you want to get rid of it. So I'll save the draft along with, sometimes I'll save it with whatever caption I wanted to use for it. But most of the time I like just do my captions right on the spot because of whatever I'm feeling in the moment. But you can do that. You can go on there, post a picture, not post it, but put it in your drafts. So if you're having a day where, like I said, you're not in the best mood, or you're not feeling it that day, at least you do have content that you can get out there, and that can eventually get you out of that mood, because you never know what it's going to be that's going to attract the right person. And by simply attracting somebody, that's already going to boost your morale, because that's profit producing business right there. So planning ahead, creating content ahead of times, and using the polls to direct to wellness profiles. I did this whenever I was serving. Whenever I knew I would be doing, like, pulling a double, I would go in the morning on my social media and put something like on my story about, oh, if you're, whatever goals you're looking for, like yada, yada, yada. Basically directing them to a wellness profile, so that whenever I got off of work, I had the wellness profiles there waiting for me, and I was able to reach out to them. And because I wasn't on social media that day, I wasn't able to interact with them. I wasn't able to connect with them. But if they're looking to get results or looking to start the business, whatever it is that I'm directing them to, at least now I have their name, I have their contact information. And then when I have the time, I can sit down and I can connect with them and go from there. So engaging, creating captivating content, consistently posting, utilizing social media for profit producing actions, and planning ahead are the biggest tips that I have for you guys. And then just being super consistent with it and having fun with it, not getting overwhelmed. Just really, that's pretty much all I have. Just being consistent. That's it. Thank you for letting me share.
Thank you so much, Desi, for the amazing share on social media, you guys. One thing I want to really talk about is the engage. When Desi said posting doesn't build your check, I felt that in my chest, because we all have to understand that although we want to post a pretty picture and it generate 150 clients, we just aren't, Instagram models. We're wellness coaches, we're wellness entrepreneurs, we're life changers, we're storytellers. So it's not about what you post, but like she said, the intention on everything you're posting and how you're posting it, so that you can make sure that you're doing profit producing activities. I don't know if everybody heard that when she said that. She said, I do stuff on my social media that is profit producing activities, meaning not just pointlessly scrolling. We're not on the shade room saying that we looking for clients on there. We're not just tapping through everybody's stories saying you needed something to inspire you, but making sure that everything you're doing within social media is intentional, because social media is one of those places where you can very much so get lost being busy. Being busy meaning that nothing's coming from what you're doing because you're just doing busy work. So with that being said, you guys, another platform down, we're going to go ahead and go into satellite clubs. Everybody can have a satellite club. Every single person. As soon as you get a 10Y number, you can have a satellite club. If a nutrition club is something you want in your future, this is one of the best ways to start. I'm not going to say one of the best ways. My personal opinion, it is the best way to start, so that you can already get in the groove of having a nutrition club. You can already get in the swing of things. You can already set the standards for your business and already know how to run the nutrition club. So when you have it, you're taking care of your many because you took care of your few. And your few meaning until you get the actual building location, you're taking care of what's on wheels. Or maybe you don't want a business location at all. You just want to see how you can get people to get the products in their mouths on a day-to-day around what you're doing or while you're at home. So I am going to introduce you guys. We have more than one guest speaker for Satellite Clubs, but first is going to be Kayla, you guys. She is amazing. On her way to World Team, we're literally finishing out our last cut of Actor Supervisor, you guys. She's amazing, always dropping everything that she does in the chat, always dropping everything that she does with her Satellite Club, you guys, earning profit every single day. If you want to earn money every single day, outside of retail, meaning you just earning some extra money on the side of your Cash App, drop a 5-5 in the chat. Every single day, drop a 5-5. Great, so I'm gonna go ahead and pass it to Kayla, you guys, so she can show us how she's rocking her Satellite Club, you guys, and how we can learn to do the same. Kayla, go ahead and take it away for us.
Thank you. What's up, everybody? Like she said, my name is Kayla. I'm out here in Redlands, California. It's about an hour away outside of Los Angeles, and I have the honor to talk about this. This has actually been a dream of mine to train on it, not just to your team, but my vision when I started this was to do as much as I can to create the opportunity to teach this to people, because the intention for me has always been duplication. That's how we grow a team. That's how we grow our business. So are you able to pull up my slides, Seven or Annie?
Yes, I'm about to pull up right now.
Okay, cool. So a little bit about me. I've been a part of the business for 4.5 years. I'm a current supervisor, like she said, about to finish my last cut of active supervisor on my way to World Team. And I've done every single DMO possible. I have done fit camps. I have done satellite clubs now in a different way. I have done social media. I've learned every single model, and I'm super grateful for everything, because everything that I've learned has really taught me how to get to the level of success that I'm at right now with what I'm experiencing. So I have my 5 tips written out for you, but I'll kind of break everything down as we go along. So the first thing that's really important is to set an intention of why you're interested in doing a satellite club. Like Seven said, anybody can do a satellite club. You don't have to be a supervisor like it is necessary for a commercial club. As soon as you sign up, you can register your satellite club and get to work. My intention when I first started was to have a vision of opening a commercial club. I don't currently have the capacity to open a brick and mortar location, but instead of waiting for the perfect opportunity and for the income to be there, I said, well, what do I have now, and what can I do with the information that I've learned so far? And if you are a supervisor and you have had the opportunity to be on Mark and Jill's calls, they have always talked about the same things of having consistent duplicatable volume every single day, consistent, predictable, right? And so that was the thing for me. I would do my maybe minimum of 500 to 1,000 volume points every month, but I was never doing more than that, and I wasn't sure why. And this is definitely my lane. I'm a super big people person. I love interacting with people. I love making things pretty. So I ran with the idea of a satellite club as soon as they talked about it. And so my intention was build a satellite club business that's so big that as soon as I open my door for a brick and mortar, I have people lined up outside the door, and I'm not chasing people into a building and it falls apart before we even start. The second thing is to do it scared and be patient with the process. I had no idea what I was doing, but I just figured it out along the way. I knew enough people that have regular nutrition clubs out here in the area. So I'm super grateful to everyone that has opened their doors and allowed me to learn. And I've also been able to take advice from different resources that we have in the Club Mastery group, or just people on social media. Sometimes you don't have to actually go into a space to learn things. You can learn things by watching other people's pages. And the thing about being patient with the process is you're seeing the success of something that's been happening for 8 months. If you can go to the next slide, so I can go over the timeline. So I originally started my Instagram page for my business in July of last year, and I wasn't even in my hometown. I was actually out of town visiting family, and I was like, you know what, I got to do something when I get back, because I didn't have a job lined up for when I came back to California. And so I created my Instagram page, and right away I started messaging people about this ground opening. Even though I had no idea when it was going to happen, I just was putting this idea and this vision in people's minds about what I was going to do. And then I used Instagram as my main platform to communicate with people about what was going to happen. posting things that were super attractive and getting people excited about what was coming to the city. And in August, that's when I had set up a service to bring people samples. And that was my initial flow, was to message people to bring samples to them. And then after bringing samples to them, I would communicate with them about having me come back to do a full service, whether it was a one-time deal or a consistent thing. That was up to them, but I let them know what their options were, as well as letting them know that they could have access to things at home. So you can kind of see as the timeline went along, I continued to do the same flow over and over again until I had almost 10 consistent places where I was going. And what that means is every single week on a scheduled day and time, I was booked to do a shake and tea service basically at these places. So most of them are salons, which has been really helpful because the salons in my area are very big, like they know people in the community and they have a very big clientele. So on average, I would do anywhere between 15 to 20 consumptions every single time I go to those salons. So based off of my pricing, I would easily make between $100 to $200 a day when I would go. So I put some numbers here for you to see where I've come from. So at the very beginning, so all of 2019, so from August until December, my total income from my satellite club was $3,000 for the entire 2019, which is great. But as you can see, I've tripled that in the last 3 months. So in all of 2020, where I'm May right now, so from January to now, I've almost made $10,000 from the satellite club, and I'm not doing anything different. So I also included some daily action steps for you all to understand a little bit more about what that work looked like behind the scenes. Perfect, thank you. So at the very beginning, I was doing things very old school. I made a list of all the places in my area and I wrote down their phone numbers and I called them, every single person. And it was a no matter what that I had to call every single person. At least 15 people was my goal. And my goal was to get a no. And it sounds weird to say that that's your goal, but the goal to me wasn't about getting a yes or no. Initially, it was just to get comfortable with calling people and asking them or introducing myself. So the message I have on the far right was my initial message that I would call and ask them. So on the phone, I'd introduce myself, let them know who I was, what I was offering. My first interest was to go towards schools and teachers because that's my background. I still currently have a part-time job. I was on the clock today. But a lot of the feedback I was getting was kind of iffy. And so I went into a different direction when I wasn't getting the type of feedback that I wanted, which goes back into that idea of being patient. Is sometimes your initial idea doesn't work and that's okay. You just have to adapt and make it work for you. So the other two messages are what I created for my Instagram page. So anytime I got a new follower, I would send those messages to them. And I'm in the process of adapting messages right now since we're in this current situation where I can't bring samples to people, but I can still bring people to me. And the growth that you're seeing right now, a majority of the time people have been coming to pick up from my house, which to each person, if they want to do that, it was a safety thing for me at first, but I was like, well, I got to do something. The people want me and I'm in high demand. So I continue to use social media for the most part. I follow 100 local people per day, and where I follow those people from is from local businesses. I'm very well connected now with people that are big influencers in the city. So I utilize their business already to connect with more people that are already in this city. And so you see a little bit of my goal, my breakdown. So when I was doing samples, my goal was to do 5 to 10 samples a day, which usually created 2 to 3 paid bookings. And I do the same thing over and over. So what you're seeing now is the end of 3 90-day plans that have been done consistently every single day. So that is all I really have to share. And the last 2 things that I'll say is to keep it as simple and fun as possible. If it's not fun, you're not going to want to do it, right? And simple, when you're doing this, you don't have to have a crazy menu. A lot of people get intimidated by having things be perfect. I would say keep it as simple as possible, because you're going to be the one maintaining the inventory for this stuff. So if you don't want to have a big inventory, do something simple as even just doing donuts or just doing tea or coffee. It doesn't have to be a full nutrition club menu. And I've learned that now on the other side of it. So that's my feedback and advice about that. And then the last thing for me is representing the brand and yourself better than ever. You're dealing with people face to face every single day. And I have the utmost like respect for customer service. I've been in customer service for a long time, but because we're representing something beyond us, I am even more intentional about having high standards for customer service with my people. And because we're representing a company, you want to make sure that you're delivering the right message and the right tone and energy, because a lot of people already have a negative opinion about Herbalife. So my intention has always been to be the person that changes people's minds about Herbalife, because I'm an example of something better. That is all. Thank you.
Wow, Kayla, thank you so much. Did y'all hear the triple flip with the numbers, like starting off? And then, you know what they say, champions come from those who stay. So if y'all can just drop all the 5s in the chat for Kayla, you guys, because that was so simple and to the point that you can literally take it away. One thing that I definitely write down is just do it scared, but just do it. And then also to be booked daily. I don't know if you guys heard her say it, and I'm just going to reiterate it. The samples led to her being booked at other places. So we have to take the time to plant the seeds, of course, with sampling. But then, like you guys heard her say, I'm booked. Can you imagine saying that with a satellite club? I'm booked. I'm not taking no more bookings this week. I'm booked. We got to fill you in for the calendar. So with that being said, I can't wait to see everybody, literally, everybody booked out with the satellite clubs, whether it be donuts, shakes, teas, whatever it is that's available for you. Just have that imagination with your satellite club to be booked. So like I said, you guys, we're going to be hearing from a lot of different people. So what we're going to hear from next is D, you guys, who grew to global expansion team. Type GET in the chat if you would like to be global expansion team. She grew all the way to global expansion team with satellite clubs and duplicating down the satellite clubs to her team. And like you heard Annie say, also, you guys, you have to be able to show your team what to do. So you want to be able to take notes where somebody comes up to you and says, hey, I really want to do a satellite club right now until I can get a nutrition club. Can you help me? And you can write yes. And y'all see summertime Steven in here saying he would, as a, we about to be 30K, ever many diamonds popping off, saying yes to wanting to be GET and grow into this, because guess what? President team is just a representation of doing global expansion team over and over and over again, active world team over and over and over again. So if you haven't already, take a new sheet of notes out. We're going to be hearing from D. Thomas, you guys, growing her satellite club, helping her and her team grow all the way to global expansion team. So global expansion team member D, I done clicked on the wrong D. That's Dale. Hey girl, let me see where she at. Let me go back to me so that I can find her. Or maybe you can unmute. Let me go to Steven in the process. Hey, Steven. I'm going to go to you in the process in that nice house until I can find D on my screen. 2 seconds. Go ahead and give us a few words. Thank you.
I ain't got nothing to say. You guys are doing a phenomenal job, and I'm proud of everybody. Now can you take this? You know, you can just go to the chat box and type in her name, and it'll filter. I'm gonna do a Zoom tutorial for everybody.
Yeah, I know how to work Zoom, but I think she might not have been back on. So what I'm gonna do is actually we have another person on also that super, yeah, right. Whoa. All right. Yeah. We have another person on also, you guys, that is duplicating nutrition satellite clubs on her way to global expansion team, you guys. Active world team member Kathy Crawford. So I'm gonna go ahead and pass it to Kathy to give us some tips and let her take it away.
Hey guys, Kathy here, originally from New York. Currently living in Atlanta. I've been doing this business for 4 years, and Active World Team, like Seven said. So first of all, thank you for allowing me to share on this call, y'all. And I'm just gonna go over a little bit. can I share like 2 screens, 7? That's cool.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So first I'm going to share, there's three different things that we kind of implemented over the last 3 months. We were already doing challenges, but we added like a different kind of structure to the challenges to actually be able to recruit through them. So that helped. And we also did a new welcome PDF, and we also did like a new satellite club training. So I know you guys kind of do all of those things already, so I'm just gonna really quickly skim. So this right here, I just want to go to the page. So it's this page right here that allows us, for the new distributor, they already know that online challenges are something that we do. And local events and pop-up tables both require you to have a satellite club. So even if the new distributor doesn't, coming in, doesn't necessarily use it, the fact that you can have it as soon as you become a distributor is just like, it's already in the welcome. So we call it like, get your Herbalife LLC. Like, you get to create your satellite club. You get to make it your own name. You get to kind of like do the little satellite club training or whatever and just have it. Guys, I've had my satellite club registered for I don't know how long, but it was there. Like, when it was time for me to use it, I didn't have to worry about setting it up. It was already there. So that's all I want to share with you guys from that. And then what I next go into giving them is really just set up your satellite club. And my upline made this, so it literally goes through step by step by step. So I'm gonna skim pretty quickly, just so I don't take up too much time. Step by step, exactly how to set up your satellite club, how to know what you're doing, what you're clicking on, what it is that you need to do, all the way, like, you literally don't have to ask your sponsor or anything for nothing. And then this right here, set up your HMI club, we use because there's a lot of people who used to like document through POS or whatever. And if y'all, like, I know most of you guys know, but you get the uplift documenting through HMI club. So we specified that. And then one of the main things that we do, I personally make the satellite club menu so that I know that through my org, all of the volume is duplicating, the recipes are duplicating, so that when it's time to teach it to a new person, all they have to do is go into right here and they just have to copy my menu. And wherever it is they want to start with. So a lot of the big things are donuts right now within my org, but they get to just copy the donuts and then take it and then go. So this was possible for us to be able to show our team. And I'm going to tell you guys what kind of started our satellite club. So that's to share that. And what started and ignited the satellite club to duplicate, because I was able to do things, but I'm trying to get my organization to grow and help them grow to do what it is that they wanted to do. And so last month, when all of this pandemic stuff hit, it was really like, how can I go into massive action without having majority of my org get like culture shock to what was new? Because everybody on my team is an essential worker, whether it's in the healthcare, police, teacher, they were all essential workers. So we launched what you guys saw on there, the Pay It Forward project. And it was simply a promotional tool. So when you guys hear Pay It Forward project, think of Trial Pack. That's exactly what it was on a larger scale, that we were having people donate for us to be able to hand out these kits to people. So really quickly, like in February, y'all, I'll be transparent, my royalties was like 196. And in March, they went up to 277. And that was just from us changing the structure into in our challenges. And then in April, our royalties was 706. So this was adding in that satellite club, and it was strictly through people wanting to serve. Like, my team already works their full-time jobs serving. So allowing us to put this into place, like, what if we do these Pay It Forward projects? I did a shake and tea one to start it. And I just collected the proceeds, and then my team started asking me, what are you doing? How can we do it? what else. And so that transition to like this month, and then doing like donuts. So we were able to do all of that, and that made people set up their satellite nutrition club, because now they had to actually document it. And then moving into this month, the donuts were kind of going around circulating, and I hadn't started them. And guys, I started these donuts last week. On my way to New York, just decided I'm gonna do these donuts, and exactly what I wanted to do with them. And so I just, by word of mouth, put out the donuts. I just said, hey guys, I'm doing this donut thing. I'll show you guys a menu right here. This is the menu that I sent to everybody. And I let them know, like, they can pick what they want. I selected 2 days that I wanted to make sure I do the donuts, because being able, guys, we run a business and you don't want to just become a bakery. So I was like, I need just 2 days I could do it and also be able to like do my business. So I said, guys, you could do orders for donuts. Pre-order will be open until this time, and then it's gonna close. And then these will be my 2 delivery days. 1 day will be for delivery, 1 day will be for curbside. So with that, then I have a Google form, and with that Google form, that's how people were able to order. That's how you're able to later go in and receipt everything without having to ask anybody, what's your phone number? What's your email address? What's this? And they're able to pick their flavors, and you have everything. You just go into your Google form and you transfer it. So within that 1 day of me putting out that on a 16-hour drive, y'all, I got $300 in donut orders. I did not know how to make a donut. I had never made a donut. I didn't have no retail inventory. I didn't have no donut pans. I had nothing. But I was like, I'm gonna get to New York and I'm gonna figure it out in 2 days, and I'm gonna make sure it works. So I got to New York. I used the money that I made for the donuts to buy my retail inventory. We thankfully had a warehouse here, so I was able to place an order and pick it up curbside. I figured out how to get some donut pans, because guys, New York is like an apocalypse. Everything is closed. And I just said, like Annie said in the beginning, I talked to my mom, I talked to my sister, because that's where I'm staying. And I said, guys, I need y'all to help me make like over 100 donuts. I'll figure out how to pay you guys for it later, but just help me. These are pictures of whom I seen doing donuts already. I see my upline doing donuts, and this is how we need to make them look, because presentation is everything. And my sister's like an artist, so she was like, okay, cool, no problem. And my mom has OCD, so it was like perfect. I didn't have to do it by myself, but now I was able to show my team, like, just do it. That being said, I was able to, I only know at a supervisor level, guys, so that's what I'm gonna share with you guys. But at a supervisor level, the donut cost based on the recipe that we have, that's another thing. There's a lot of different people using a different recipe. So what I suggest is, if you have a recipe for your org, let that same recipe be across the board, so that your satellite club is across the board in your recipes. So that the volume is across the board. Your distributor can tell you, hey, I sold 12 dozen donuts this week alone, and you could say, okay, so you should have this much more documented volume, right? And if they don't, they either didn't document something, or they don't have their recipe the same. And if they're following by just copying your recipe, the recipe should be the same. So using the recipe we use, and this is down to like the dollar and cent amount of the outside of Herbalife products that we use, it only costs $6.66 to make a dozen of donuts, to make 6 donuts, sorry, to make a half a dozen of donuts. And we sell our donuts for $15 for the half a dozen and $30 for a full dozen. So at a supervisor level, on a half a dozen, you're profiting $8.34. And at on a full dozen, you're profiting $16.68. So it's a pretty, that's at a supervisor level, guys. And so that's what I just decided to do. And my entire org, every single person, all of my supervisors, and I have a few front lines, already have their satellite clubs set up, because that's just something I make them do. And now they're all just getting in on doing the donuts, with the intention that you don't want to be a bakery. You want to be able to let these customers know, hey, how about you can now get the shake and the protein and so forth, and I could teach you how to make the donuts, or I could send you the recipe. I have exclusive donut recipe for my PMs. Do you want to like order products and get the exclusive donut recipe, so that you're not just baking donuts forever, unless that's what you love to do. I personally do not love baking, so I have set days and set times. I don't want to bake every day, but I want to show my team that I can adjust with the time and the demand from the population and do what needs to be done to serve the people. So whatever PDFs, whatever files you guys need, I will definitely send it to Annie and Seven, and then they can share it forward with you guys. I hope that added value, and thank you so much for allowing me to share.
All right, you guys. Thank you so much, Kathy. I don't know about y'all, but I'm about to go make some donuts for myself. Not necessarily to sell yet, but definitely some donuts, you guys. So with that being said, I hopefully you guys took away that it's definitely duplicatable down to how much you can tell someone they can earn by just off of 6 donuts. You can say this is the exact amount that you could be earning. So just understanding that it's simple and it's duplicatable for you to be able to do, as well as the ding ding, like Kathy said, telling your PMs, if you want to get set up on a plan, I can teach you how to do these exact same things at home, is a very big thing. So that then you're going from not only earning income from the satellite club, you guys, but also earning profit by getting them into preferred members and growing your check. So now we're actually going to pass it on to D. Thomas. For real, you guys, I found the name on here. Don't kill me. For real, you guys, the Global Expansion Team, D, is going to close us out about satellite clubs, and then we're going to go ahead and head over to the Great Habits Call.
Hello and happy Tuesday. Today's Tuesday, Monday. I don't know what day it is, but my name is D. Thomas. Thank you so much, Seven, for the invite. And I am gassed to share a little bit about satellite and how I grew to Get Team through the satellite model. It's all that I ever knew when I joined the business March 31st of 2018. And it has been a ride that I've passed on to my downline. And it's literally the launching pad for our business going forward. So I'm just going to share what we've done, what it's developed in my business, and also how you can incorporate it, definitely being very intentional. So like I said, March 31st, I joined the business and I immediately started doing satellite and retailing inside of my gym. I used to be a former gym owner. And in my first month of doing the business, I did about 12K just by retailing and doing satellite. And I was literally just making shakes and teas. Like, it was absolutely incredible. And then I was like, I need to grow my team. So my action needs to be duplicatable. So I had to stop doing certain things so that my team can learn how to do it. And it has been so crazy. So one action I can tell you to do, or that I've done, is that in my 10 steps, it is sign up for satellite your first day as a distributor, right? I don't want my distributors to think that it's weird or it's different. I just want them to know it's possible and that they can have it as a part of their toolkit, whether they use it or not. And what ends up happening is that they have ownership of their own business and they say, oh my gosh, I get to name my club. So in their head, they literally start thinking ahead about opening a nutrition club. And then from there, we start with teas. And then I find out what their happy is. This is going to be key. I find out what their thing is. So for example, one of my downline supervisors, Patricia, her big thing was paint parties. So she wanted to do paint parties. We started off doing shakes and teas at her paint parties. She did the paintings herself. We rented a space and then we went from there, right? So we literally can break down, like Kathy was talking about, breaking down how much a shake is, how much your tea is, how much do we want to do in satellite volume in order for you to go towards active supervisor cuts. And literally inside the the satellite model, I create supervisors. That's my intention, to get you supervisor as quick as I can. And that ends up, I think I have 17 supervisors, my first 2 levels, and 17 my first 2 levels and 1 in my 3rd level. And everybody does satellite, and so there's probably 40 satellite clubs in my organization. So whether you supervisor or not, you're going to do that. So paint parties are really, really huge. We do wellness parties when we pop up at different gyms, where I bring my InBody scale machine and I just make it a to-do. So I invite everybody, like, let's weigh, let's get you on track. And I make everybody in the organization, I'm like, let's make it a party. So that's number 2. We also do karaoke satellite events. So we had a karaoke house party where everybody paid to come, and with their entry fee, they of course got to act the fool, and they get a shake and a tea, and they got Jello shots. So inside of our Jello shot was also tea, right? Or you could do lift off or whatever you want. So we found out that karaoke was a happy. We found out that fitness is a happy, that paint parties are a happy, that just being well and doing well things is a happy. And that's how we do our shake parties. And another thing that was really, really big for people who are not fitness related at all, I have somebody who is a socialite. All she does is like to party, and she likes to give away gifts. So what she did was use hydration packs. And so during Mardi Gras season, she sells hydration packs. And inside of the hydration pack is a CR7 lift off tea. And then she does like a flavor package, so you can literally make a mega tea at home, because everybody's hungover after the party anyway, right? And so she'll say the hydration packs are $10 a piece. So literally they're paying her $10 for a mega tea. She puts it in a plastic bag, and that's how she parties, right? Because inside of your HMI club, it doesn't know if you blend or not. It just knows whether you run it through the app. And so those are some of the ways that we've grown to get team, and how I create volume and help my downline create volume as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much. There go Annie. Thank you so much, Dee. First of all, y'all, we've heard all the fire shares based on and that was just so quick and to the point. And the biggest thing that I took away is, what is your happy? I think a lot of times we get so lost telling people what they should do or do this versus saying, what is your happy? Like, what can we do to surround this business around what makes you happy? And I think that is a very important question to ask for growing a team. And Dee, I just want to acknowledge you for putting that out to your team. Like, what is your happy? So just like you said, if somebody loves to party, we don't look at them any differently. Like, that's your happy. Let's find a way to put Herbalife around this. Did y'all hear that? Jello shots? Anybody in here in college? Kevin and Tiana? I know y'all just graduated and stuff, but Jello shots with tea and a lift off. That is a great idea. Like, that is so to the point and just on top of it, you guys. So Dee, thank you. Kathy, thank you. Kayla, thank you. Desi, thank you. Everybody, if you feel secure on choosing one of these platforms, can you drop a 5-5 in the chat? Annie's dropping her 5-5 to the side. Annie, thank you. She wanted me to make sure I said thank you again to my wife, y'all. Thank you to my wife. But you guys, so I'm glad that we're able to just find different platforms. So the thing I want you to take away is that we get to take away is, what is your happy? And if you don't know that right now, it's okay. But just write down, let's all take that in from Dee, is what is your happy, so that we can find a way as a team to help do things in Herbalife that's around what makes you happy, so that you can grow in your happiest place. Because like Steven says, you guys, we're doing this for a good time, but for a long time as well. So you want to do things in a business that make you happy, that you're excited about, that you're going to want to do, and that you look forward to doing, so that you do it all the time, but learning everything so that it's super duplicatable. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in to our Tuesday Focus Night call. Thank you for all of our shares again. Thank you, Annie, Desi, Kathy, Kayla, and D. And you guys, we will see you on the Great Habits call.
Thank you for coming. Tell me.
Thank
Oh my God.
you.
Bye.